I feel the combination of my three texts works well. They hold the same main elements. These include featuring our main female protagonist as a large part in all three texts, giving the audience a sense of recognition and working as my main synergy trigger. I have also used a lot of white in all three texts, which contrasts the thriller film convention, but makes my film recognisable to consumers. In the film trailer, this mainly includes white flashes. In my magazine cover, there is a large percentage of white background, and in my poster, Thea's face is extremely white, the connotation of this being innocence. But in the film, the flashes connote more of a distorted feel, fitting in with the psychological thriller genre. In both ancillary texts, Thea has a very blank face, not giving off any emotion. I chose to do this as it works well with the idea that the kidnapper removes Thea's personality when he places the bag over her head. This works well as in the film trailer there are many shots of Thea being tied up and having no other emotion than fear. In my ancillary task, there is only one suggestion of a relationship, and this is between Thea and the kidnapper. The use of the bag in my poster represents her being kidnapped, and the blank emotion in my magazine represents the personality and identity taken from Thea by the kidnapper. Both ancillary tasks employ the main narrative, which is the kidnapping, as I felt it would be the best to use, as the other narratives in our trailer are multi-stranded and stem from the kidnapping, and therefore would not work as standalone narratives. This narrative would attract our target audience as they are familiar with Thea, as she is used in all three texts, and the kidnapping situation is a common thriller storyline and gives the audience a sense of fear as the situation is realistic, and that is what they look for in a psychological thriller film. I used a lot of different thriller conventions in all three of my texts, the first being the kidnapping narrative. But on the ancillary tasks, I use the colour red often, as this is not only a common convention in thriller, as it connotes danger, but also synergises with the film trailer, as both our intertitles and titles are red. For the magazine cover, I used common magazine features to attract a mass audience. I used a large masthead, but behind the head of the main character Thea to emphasise her importance in the film trailer. I used buzzwords such as exclusive and preview in the magazine, but would not use these in the poster or film trailer, as it's targeting a different audience in a different mode of address. Another synergistic feature I used in 2 out of 3 of my texts was the use of A Mother's Worst Nightmare. This was a non-diegetic sound used in the background of the trailers to give a creepy atmosphere, and also used at the last title in our trailer. I decided to use this as my slogan for my poster, as it would be recognisable to people who had watched the trailer, but also intriguing for people who had not. I also used the slogan in the colour red, it was red at the end of the trailer, as a synergistic feature of my text. I used the contrast effect in both my ancillary tasks to give an abnormal and distorted feel to them that was seen in the trailer through white flashes and non-diegetic sounds. I did not feature the certificate of our film on all 3 texts, as I felt it was unnecessary on the ancillary task, as it would take up space, and if a consumer was interested, they would research the film. I also feel as it is a thriller film, you can clearly see in the ancillary test consumers would assume it is not below a 12A. I also did not feel the need to use the production company logo on both ancillary texts, as it did not add to the effect of the thriller genre. I did, however, feature release date on all 3 texts, as this was vital in the recognition for the audience. We chose to release the film in December as we felt it wouldn't be appropriate in the summer, as it connotes happiness and light, whereas consumers are more likely to associate a dark storyline with horrible weather and dark days. Lastly, the main element in all 3 texts is the title Enigma. This is used in a bold font with blood splatter through the letters, suggesting danger. This was the most important feature throughout, as consumers needed to know the title of the film and could therefore synergise all 3 texts.